217 Recovery Podcast.
If you don't make mistakes, you won't learn.
With your host, Cori Winfield.
Like, oh my gosh, I'm going into a place and there can be people like talking to walls, and there was some of that. But it was still pretty cool.
Co-host, Marney Winfield.
If they don't get that sincere messaging, then they're not going to have that conversation on a level where maybe you can get through to them.
Along with special guests, Cori Smoker.
Maybe one day I can make it onto the TV out front too.
And Jesse Smoker.
If people ask, so you got like big, thick, you know. Got your ass.
It is the 5th of January, 2025, first episode of the year, 217 Recovery Podcast. And we have to go back and recap. Because, see, what happened was COVID got my ass. We got Marney's ass. We got our son's ass. Everybody's asses in our household. So we wanted to do an episode. Normally we do an episode on New Year's Eve or around there, and we recap like the top 5 moments, the bottom 5 moments of the year. We kind of go over that, but I was sounding like this. I mean, I still sound nasally, but not as bad as
you're a lot better, yeah,
as I was before. But oh my god, it was so bad. So we was like, no, let's just hold off. So technically, since this is the first episode of 2025, we can go ahead and do that today.
Yeah.
And our friends, the smokers, are over, and we're going to get them to sit down, and we're going to do that with them as well. Well, first, we figured we would just do you and I.
Yeah.
So we'll go over our top 5, bottom 5 moments of 2024 and what we're looking forward to in 2025 as people in recovery.
Awesome.
So do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I don't know. You're a hard act to follow, but why don't you take us away?
Okay. All right. Let's go bottom 5 first.
Okay.
My bottom 5 moments of 2024 are as follows, and they are in order.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. It's dark in here and I can't read my handwriting. Oh, yeah, this is a big one. Not filing company taxes in time. Yeah, so you're a nonprofit, you don't pay taxes, but they still want you to like report on it, and not being an accountant. Took me a minute, and then by the time I got it in, it was January, and then you're like penalized $50 a day for being late. So it was like $2,000 or something.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's just like a waste. You know?
Yeah. Really,
but you can't do this shoulda, coulda, woulda. Just it's a learn from it. And
it was a tough lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Last year I got our taxes in time. So it was good because our fiscal year, which is kind of weird, but if I had it to redo again, and I still can go through and change it if I wanted, but I heard it's a pain. But the company, we founded it in May. Like technically April, by the time I got with the state, it was like May. So I thought, okay, cool. Our year will end in May, and it will begin in June. And then you have, I don't know, until October 15th or something like that to like get it in. This last year, I think we got them in August or September. I don't know, way early.
So but you learned from that.
I did, but it was very expensive learn. And it, like you said, a waste.
Yeah.
You know, like what does this money go to? Like,
yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So that was a tough one. That was number 5. Number 4 is getting an ant infestation in our residence. That was a pain in the ass.
I forgot about that.
No, I didn't. And the reason why it was such a pain in the ass because we knew right away, hey, there's these ants in our place, but we live in a association, and we have to like contact these management people and blah 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 blah. And then I did, and then it was just send me a picture of it. Okay, and then like 2 months later, it was finally fixed. But these carpenter ants were eating our place, and the reason why they were eating is because all this rotted wood that's outside. And then they're like, hey, let's go inside because it's raining and eat these people's wood. But until those were dealt with, it just made no sense. Like we put little ant traps and stuff, and they were like, yeah, that's cute, but we're just going to keep eating this wood.
So the ants made your list. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Number 4. Number 3 is the diabetes scare, which technically depends who you ask. If you ask my doctor, he'll be like, what do you mean scare? You got diabetes. If you ask my wife, she'll say, no, you don't have it anymore. It's gone. Here's another piece of cheesecake. I had 2 pieces of cheesecake today. It was delicious.
Actually, that was one piece of cheesecake that was cut into 2.
Okay.
Because you wanted 2 different kinds of topping.
Yeah.
So does that make
cherry
you
and
feel?
strawberry, which you're going to go with.
You feel better?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Number 2 was getting COVID.
Mm.
Christmas morning, woke up and was like, actually, I was told, stop it, get out of bed. Because Christmas Eve, I was like, honey, pick me up some NyQuil on your way home from work. Because she was one of those people that wanted to work Christmas Eve. I was like, can you give me some NyQuil? Something's not feeling right. Well, when I woke up on Christmas morning, which we were going to have this great first Christmas with Parker, it was going to be awesome. And then I started coughing. And you're like, oh. And which waking Parker up. And he was freaking out. And then we realized quickly he was not feeling well. I wasn't feeling well. You weren't really feeling all that bad, but not super great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it turned into like, oh, we all have COVID. So that was pretty shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole holiday is just a blur.
Yeah.
And I took vacation time too, which is stupid. I should have took sick days. I know, but whatever. It is what it is. But that was my number 1 crappy. Oh, no. That was number 2. Number 1 was even shittier than that. And that was in the summer when my beloved Nico went to kitty heaven.
Yeah.
When my cat Nico died. That was a tough one. I'm still getting over it. I still hate the other cats. I hate all animals. And I said something to you the other day. I was like, before you have a kid, pets are cute. But once you have a kid, you're just like, what is this? This is fake. I don't need them anymore. I have the real thing. Like, let's just open the door and let them run wild.
Aww.
Especially since my cute kitty that was smart as hell died. These other cats are just stupid. And there's one knows that we're talking about him.
Yeah, he literally is up at the
Yeah,
microphone
he's
right
like
now.
brushing against the mic, and he does a weird thing where he puts his ass in the air. And then, like, he tries to cuddle with me at night because Marney got him cuddling when he was a kitten. So now he thinks he needs to cuddle like a person. But the problem with him is he slobbers everywhere. What are those dogs that do that? Those big ass dogs.
St. Bernards.
Yeah, he's a St. Bernard cat. And then if it's not his face that he's slobbering you down, you wake up and you got a brown eye staring you right at your face.
Lord, it's true though.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, stop it, man.
But he's really is just trying to be affectionate, but the whole perception of the cuddles with cat cuddles has changed since the baby, for sure. Yeah, it's more of an annoyance than it was, but that doesn't make him not still cute in our beloved pets. So, do you want me to do my bottom 5?
Yeah, and then we'll do the tops.
Okay. So, well, first, our friends are over, Cori and Jesse Smoker, and who brought up a really good point that it's like, do I really want to reflect on like the negatives?
Obviously.
Because trying to be like a strength-based, forward-focused individual / therapist, that's the modality that I choose to roll with, professionally and also as a person. But
is this your disclaimer? We don't really want to do this.
No, I mean, because it is truly reflecting on the past year. Everything's not always great, but so let's at that. The thing is a lot of mine were the same as yours. So, do I have to? I didn't really have them numbered, really per se.
I did.
But Nico, Nico was on there. It was a loss for us for sure. She was a package deal when I met my husband. It was like either the cat comes with me or I'm not making a move.
Yeah, I mean,
it straight up. It was like, yeah, that sounds great. We could try to find a place together, but it needs to be able to have cats.
And just to clarify this on Nico, and we'll give her moment here for a minute too. When my grandmother died back in 2010, that's when I got Nico, like that weekend after, because I was just missing something, and she really did fill a void. And then she was there through all the hard times, the drinking, and me being a pretty bad cat parent, really. How could I be a good one?
Right.
And then the liver failure, and then she would always cuddle with me after that. And I think it's probably because I wasn't drinking. Other than that, I was drinking every single day. But it was then when we really started to bond, and then I moved back home, and she moved with me, and then things didn't work out, and then I had to move back to my mom's. And I hear so many people talk about why they can't go to sober living is because they have a dog or they have a cat, and they know they're struggling, and they go out and get this animal thinking it will help them, and then it doesn't. And now it's their excuse of why I can't go to treatment, why I can't do this, why I can't do that. At the end of the day, I had to look in the mirror and realize what's more important, me or my cat. I love my cat, sure, absolutely, but I'm not going to be anything good for my cat if I can't pull my shit together.
Right.
And so when I went to treatment, it was 2 months, and then my cat actually went from my apartment back to my mom's place, and she just kind of slept in this room, hung out in this room, never was really out, never interacted with anybody, just a really horrible jail sentence for her, pretty much. And when I went to sober living, I was like, I know my cat's in there. I remember one time I went home for something, maybe Christmas or something, and my mom was like, you want to go see your cat? And I said, no, I don't. Because it would hurt too much and there's nothing I can do right now. And it wasn't Christmas. It might have been like, I don't know what it was, but it was something. And I know Nico could hear me. Cats have great hearing.
Right.
And I knew she knew I was there, but it would have just been too much. And to try to put myself in situations that aren't too much, especially early in recovery. But I chose not to see her. But then my mom was like, you didn't even see your cat. And I'm like, well, there's different reasons for that. But regardless, I did get her back. And when I moved into the sober living home that I managed, that was one of the things too. It's like, well, can I bring my cat? And he was like, sure. So I just kept her in the room there, but at least I was there with her, and that was fun. And then we moved. At first we went to this hotel because it was during COVID and we were trying to find a place.
Yeah.
And she stayed there with us for went over there like a week or two, something like that.
We were there for longer than that.
But yeah, and then we moved into our apartment, and she came along with, and I think she had a pretty good end of her life.
Oh yeah.
And then she moved into the mansion here, and she didn't know how to work the elevator, so she kind of just stayed up in our room most of the time. But but yeah, it was getting bad, and I'm glad she's in a better place now because cats, they don't live that long. And when stuff starts going bad, it goes bad pretty quick sometimes. So
how old was she? When
14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
14 in a few months.
Yeah, she wasn't acting herself for sure at the end of her days.
No.
And
it made me sad. I avoided her just because I knew something was wrong and I didn't want to face it.
Yeah.
And then finally it was like, no, we got to take her in. And there was blood in the poop. And it was like, okay, something's not right. And I still feel bad because I just grabbed her up and took her in. But then we spent some time with her before they gave her the see you later shot. But yeah, it was a tough one. But anyway, that was kind of like the Nico thing, because pets are very important for people in early recovery. But a lot of times we'll choose, well, I can't go to treatment, or I can't get help because the pet. Well, think about it. The pet's going to live 6 more years. Don't you want that to be a great 6 years?
Right.
Instead of a drunken filled like, or using whatever back and forth battle, like that was hell on my cat. So she hated when I drank, and to really be there for your pet, really be there for your pet.
Yeah.
Don't say, though, I can't get clean, I can't go get help because of this or that. I've heard it way too much.
Right.
But it can do it.
In the long term, it's going to be more beneficial for that animal if you become healthy.
Yeah. And you can move her up to the mansion or whatever, you can move up to. But yeah, it's the way to go. You got to look out for yourself, number one. If you can't take care of yourself, how are you supposed to take care of a cat? How are you supposed to take care of a dog, hamster, rabbit, pig, whatever? Right. You have to get your stuff lined up first.
Absolutely.
But anyway, back to your list.
So similarly from yours, I had Christmas COVID. Was a struggle. Having a husband and a baby, both sick, is not easy. And I also had COVID. I wasn't asymptomatic, not even close to what you experienced or our child, but that was the first time I actually had to see our little one not feeling well. you know, and that was hard to do. But knowing that we did everything that we needed to take care of him, and even I took him into the doctor, even just to make sure everything else, there wasn't anything else that we were missing. So that was, not the Christmas I expected for the first family Christmas, but we made the most. We made the most of it for sure. So, so that kind of following that is just overall, and this isn't really like a negative. It's just more like there are little things that where you question, you know, yourself and your role, like parental struggles, right? Like there's this learning curve that exists, that is inevitable. And, you know, I'm a new mom and you're a new dad. And so there's like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it? Could I do it better? Is there something else I should be doing? Am I, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but like, is my child hitting the milestones he's supposed to be hitting? You know, should I be taking a different, you know, giving him different toys or different food or more food or less food, or, you know, hold him more or hold him less or whatever. So that has been challenging, but that's also verging on the positive. So we'll get to that. I put on here the election worry, and it's not because I'm like politically that knowledgeable. It's more just like the unknown of how things are actually going to go, you know, with moving forward with our leaders and how they handle things is, you know, concerning. I think regardless, however it panned out, it would have been concerning. Just overall, just that in general. Mm-hmm. And then this is also kind of a segue into my positives too, is that I did kind of close a door on a company that I had worked for a long time. And ATS, which we work with a lot, Addiction Treatment Services in Traverse City, they kind of were a platform that kind of was a part of me launching myself into my professional role as, you know, a social worker. And so for that, I'm very grateful, and I'm grateful for every minute that I worked for them, the opportunities that opened up for me. And, but I did kind of just need to reevaluate, you know, the roles I had and then where my time was going to be spent. And I was, you know, obviously on board with 217. And so those opportunities have, you know, grown and increased, and needs there for me professionally have increased. So that's my segue from, it was a negative, but not really a negative. It led into more positives, into my positive list.
We're just going to keep going to your positive list?
If you want me to.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, so that would roll into the progress and development of 217 recovery and the opportunity that I've been able to take and establish my role there. And that goes hand in hand with my, been able to, when Daddy has Daddy Tuesdays, Mommy has working Tuesdays, where I'm doing my clinical work with individuals at a private practice that I work for, so I can eventually get my full MSW licensure.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop, which means down the road, you know, be able to provide therapeutic services for individuals as a therapist for 217 recovery. So that's like the big picture stuff. So that's on there. And then connecting with family overall. I think as a person in recovery, you know, you earning trust back from family members and reestablishing these relationships, you know, it continues to be an important thing for me. And the fact that I think us as a family, as a husband and wife with like in-laws and such, and as well as my nuclear family, I've really kind of, maybe not as much as I should, but I feel like I've done a better job than I have in the past, is kind of keeping in contact with everybody and trying to, you know, keep everybody involved, and this is what we're up to, and, you know, keeping people included, connecting with my dad, connecting with my mom, siblings as much as I can and as much as they want to be connected. And then my in-laws, who are my family now as well, you know, my mom and dad and, and on that piece, and aunts and uncles that I have on that end, and brothers and sisters now that I have through marriage, which is a beautiful thing, and nieces and nephews and the whole shebang.
Okay, so that's number 4 for you, is keeping in touch with all those people.
Yeah. What do you want me to? Am I talking too much about that?
No, I mean, I just was wondering if that was.
Yes. Well, it was family trip that that we're excited about.
Oh, so that you're talking about 2025 you're looking forward to, or are you doing top 5 things of 2024?
Well, that was planning into the 2025.
Oh, okay.
But connecting with family.
Okay.
So, okay.
Sorry.
All right. Now these go equally together, and it's number 1 and number 2 is my sobriety. Because without that, I wouldn't have anything else.
Okay, number 1 and number 2 is your sobriety.
Nope, that's 1 and 2 go together. 2 is our child.
I'm confused. Oh, 2 is our child.
1 and 2, sobriety and our child go together.
Okay.
Because we wouldn't have our baby.
You're jumping on. What was number 3? So confused.
Obviously.
I don't have them. I have sobriety as number 1 and number 2. Well, 1 and 2, sobriety and our child, and then being a mom, right? And then progress and development of 217 recovery, and also my MSW licensure, and then connecting with family. That's 5.
I really hate to do this to you guys, but I really have to go to the bathroom really bad. I just can't hold it anymore.
How did Mitchell get on this podcast? All right.
Is
Thanks,
that what
Mitch.
you have to do?
No, but that's an awesome list. You know, obviously the sobriety and the child and being a mom, you know, those are big things for you. It was huge in 2024. That's good.
Okay.
Okay. You mind?
Yeah.
All right. Number 5. Sorry, you look like you're so mad at me.
No.
I was very, very, very confused there. I still have COVID brain, so it takes me a minute. Okay, so there's a honorable mention, which would be because I just remembered it when you were talking about it, and I found out I had a sister, but I haven't really met her yet. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of honorable mention. That could be cool. Could be better to get to know her.
Okay.
Send us a great Christmas card, which I need to write her back and thank her for. Mm-hmm. But number 5, though, is winning the trash bowl in our fantasy football league.
Okay.
Jesse Smoker agrees. He's giving me the pump. Because how I had to do it, I had to rig it to where I didn't finish in the top tier, but I had to go through the bottom tier. If you're in fantasy football, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I'm sorry. But then I set up my revenge tour. Everybody that had beat me by a point or 2 points or half a point, I got my revenge on them. And I got to revenge Mitch with a Monday night, and I got to win it all with a Monday night. And those are how I lost to those 2 people, was on a Monday night game. So it was great to
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So losers can be winners too.
Absolutely.
All right.
Like you've talked to somebody like Justin Burke, who's like, I made the playoffs for the money round or the top tier. He barely made it in and then loses his first game. He's done. See ya. No thanks. I'd rather win the trash bowl and get redemption. Mm-hmm. Go on a tour, a victory tour. Okay. So anyway, that's number 5. Number 4 is getting the house repainted. Never done that before. I just heard my son.
I did too.
Huh. Go check on him.
Hi, baby.
Yeah. So getting the house repainted was awesome. It was nice. We tried to do some of it before the birth of Parker, but then it just kind of didn't work out. And then Parker was born and it was finished. But it feels good to do something like that, because it did look a hot mess in here before then. And just the way that people half-ass painted it before we moved in. So number 3 was that I wrote a script for a short film. Took this little class, was a real short class, but I took that and I wrote it and you read it. Still need to rewrite it and put the finishing touches on it, but the fact that I wrote it, it's there. You know, there's a few more things you need to do before you turn it into a film, but I'm going to do it. Number 2 is hosting and being the MC at the UFAM rally in Michigan. That was kind of a big deal when they asked me to do that. It was just like, whoa.
Man, that feels like a million years ago.
I know. You're about ready to pop.
Yeah.
Because I was going to turn it down and say, no, my wife's going to have a baby. I'm going to have a baby. And
what was that, like a week before?
Yeah. It was like the 16th or 17th of May.
And
our son was born on the 22nd. Yeah. But it was an honor, you know, like here I am 5 years sober at that time. I have 6 years now, but that time I had 5 years, and just think, wow, like I remember going back that first year, you know, when we showed up with a ragtag, like table drop, and it was me and Rob and Anna was there, and it was just like, it's nothing like what it was before. Yeah, we're actually credited with creating people bringing their own tents because that's what we did. And then ever since then we have done that, and like it just grows and grows. He was like, you guys are the ones that started that. I was like, well, yeah, I didn't need your tent. We got our own. But now we look a lot better there. But yeah, so to be invited and to ask to be the MC of it was freaking huge, man. So that for me is number 2. And then number 1 was I got a new drone. Oh, just kidding. I got a new son.
There you go.
Yeah, so he can have my old drone. But yeah, having Parker was huge. You know, it was quite the, I don't want to say battle. It was quite the process for us. And there was a lot of ups and downs. And then to find out, hey, we are pregnant. And then to find out it's, I remember the lady, she's like, you're going to have a prince. And I'm like, did she just say we're going to have a boy? Yeah. You know, and I would have been thrilled either way. But, you know, to have a boy, you know, was huge. And then, you know, going to the hospital, and I didn't want you to have a C-section. And I was just like, oh, we heard so many things and this and that. And I don't know, just the thought of you having to have more surgery, and I wanted to be there with you and watch him, you know, come flying out of you. As much as I wanted to see that, that wasn't the case. And, you know, but being able to, like, just sit there and hold them, and they're like, they handed him to me. I just remember, and I'm all in this like white outfit and all this stuff they made me put on, and they just brought him to me, and I'm sitting there in this like rocking chair just looking at him, and he can't even really see me, I don't think, but he's just staring up at me and not crying or nothing. I don't know, it was just a really cool moment. And then I'm like, where's my wife, you know, and then they wheel you in, and then we, you know, I give him to you, and he just, I don't know, it was a very magical moment. It was very cool. Yeah. So that was number 1 for me.
Absolutely. Number 1. Hands down.
Yeah. My sobriety goes in through 1 through honorable mention.
It goes through all of them, right?
It's in there.
You don't even need to, it's almost like a given.
Yeah, God's been pretty awesome to us and to me, and that rolls me into 2025 and the things I'm looking forward to personally, to make my short film, to film it, to edit it, to put it out there, and to have that done before 2026 comes around. Doable. And professionally, which I guess that could be professionally, but that's more personally. Professionally, you know, secure funding, which I think we may have for 217 Recovery, to actually purchase vehicles, you know, to help us and do what we do. We take people to and from treatment. You know, it's kind of, I would say, the number 1 thing that we do. And we provide safe transportation using recovery coaches, taking people where they need to go and taking them home. Yeah. You know, and it's huge. It's overlooked. And what we do, we know it's important because we do it, and we talk to the people, and we hear the people's stories, and we hear them, we see them later, and they're like, thank you so much. I had no other way to get to treatment. Yeah. If you guys didn't come get me, I'd be dead today. Yep. You're just like, wow, that's awesome. But it's just so overlooked. I just put them on a bus. Let their family take them. Well, last time I was supposed to go to treatment, it was my mom going, I'm not picking you up. And I don't blame her. I'm not picking you up. I'm not taking you anymore. Like, I'm done with it. Yeah. And so I had to ride the bus, which is not a very safe option for people going to or from treatment. So, yeah, to secure funding for that would be awesome. Yeah. That'd be kind of a big deal.
Absolutely.
What about you?
So mine are just to carry out, like, continue doing what I'm doing, right? So, like I said, that learning curve of being a new mom, and being able to see our child grow, which is like insane. I mean, he's 7.5 months, and it's like when I look back at pictures when he was just a little itty bitty baby, which was only, it seems like a million years ago, but then it was only a little bit ago. And now he's like getting upstairs on his own. What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's like you want him to grow up, but you don't want him to grow up. But all of it is just, it's a miracle. And it's just so exciting. And just to be able to be a part of that every day is amazing. And looking forward to, establishing myself more professionally as come August of this year, I will be eligible to take the ASWB exam, which would make me an official licensed master social worker, pending that I have all my clinical hours done, which is, what I'm doing through mental wellness. And that's huge. So I'll have to do some studying for that, but it's kind of like, it's one of those things where I'm not worried about it, but just any testing is bothersome. You know what I mean? When there's a pass-fail situation, you're always worried about what you know or what you don't know. Or,
almost like taxes.
Almost like taxes, yeah. So yeah, and then I'm looking forward to the family trip that we have been able to plan. That is going to be in beginning of June, right after your birthday.
Something like that.
Sort of.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be fun. Your cat decides it's going to work out now.
It's your cat.
Oh, it's my cat. My cat likes to go outside. Let me let him out there.
Yeah, he's on the running wheel, which he never ever gets on unless we're doing a podcast.
I'm going to go put the stopper in that. But I'll go do that, and then we'll grab Jesse and Cori Smoker, and we'll get their top 5. Marney, thank you for being on the podcast. Maybe you can talk with Cori about her top 5, bottom 5.
Okay.
And we'll do that in just a minute. But first, let's bring in Jesse Smoker.
Hey.
Jesse, how you doing?
I'm doing really good.
Nice.
Yourself? I mean, besides the whole COVID and
getting over COVID, but it's kind of on the uptick, so I think it's a good thing.
Good.
So you heard Marney and I talking about, we did our bottom 5, top 5 moments of 2024, and then we kind of talked about a couple things that either we look forward to or trying to make happen in 2025. So if you want to start with your bottom 5 of 2024.
Bottom 5. Let's see. I didn't really have 5.
Okay.
But I did have I don't think I was the best husband this year.
Okay.
Meaning just need to give just a little more, kind of help out a little more around the house, or go to those things with my wife that I don't want to go to, and just go.
Yeah, because all the shit she does, because she doesn't want to, but yeah, you got to look at that. And women are so good at that.
Yeah, and I'm a little selfish in that area, so it's like I feel like I could step up a little more. So I'm kind of, I don't want to say it was a bad 2024 in our marriage or anything. It's just I know I could do a little better.
Okay.
So that one, the other one was with Michaela, stepdaughter. I feel like I can improve in areas with some help through counseling or whatever you want to call those people. Therapist.
Yeah.
So, that's another one. I didn't do real good with the whole step parent thing. Yeah, that's, those are my two biggest things.
And I don't want to say regrets
that weren't real highs for me in 2024. Those were kind of my lows.
Gotcha. But at least you're aware of them and you can do something about them.
Yeah. And it's always, it's not like a resolution or New Year's resolution.
Right.
Because, when I was drinking and partying, I'd make those all the time.
Yeah.
Now it's just about being better. Just a little bit, though.
Yeah. It's going to change.
Yeah.
And reacting versus acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the biggest thing, man. It's not reacting to situations, not reacting to people. And it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough because it might not even be that person that gets you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're riled up about something else. And like the ant issue, if somebody comes and I just was having it out with the HOA and the guy's being a smart ass to me, send me a picture of it. Yeah. Oh, if you'd have came in that day, you can react to other situations, but it's all based on this. But yet, this is hitting me now. So you know what? F you too. And then I'm like, oh no, that's not how you handle that. Right. Damn it! Now I got two fires going, and us in our past. Mm-hmm. What do we do when the fire's going? Well, let's get some. Yeah.
And we're gonna set the whole world on fire.
We'll burn this down too, and it'll be their fault.
Yep.
But we live differently today, and to be accountable for things that we do, things that we say, and then to look in the mirror and go, you know what? I could have handled that different. Yeah. What do I need to do? Because a lot of people are like, well, I could have handled it different. Oh, next time. But no, to actually seek professional help. And I'm not saying like, hey, everybody go see a therapist because you're crazy. I'm not saying that at all. But you need somebody to help you balance that and go, Jesse, was that the best thing you could have said to them?
Well, right.
How would you have said it again?
And the thing is like, how can, like you said, oh, next time I'll do better. Obviously not, because I didn't do so hot this time around. So it's like I don't know how.
How do you do better?
I don't know how. I don't know how to shut the what.
Yeah.
I don't know how to close my mouth.
It's so hard.
It's terrible.
And you're not going to be perfect. No. I'm going to work on this till the day I die.
Yeah.
And it's tough, but you'll look back at those moments where you just shut up and you're like, come back to that later.
Yeah.
And you'll come back to it later and you're like, my God, I'm so glad I didn't blow up.
Yes.
I was the one in the wrong, or how I didn't have my facts, or whatever it is. You'll thank yourself and you're like, yes. Like,
yeah. I'm really kind of looking forward to learning that.
Oh, it's just one of the best things you can ever feel is that, dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
And you're just like, and I handled that correctly. And man, I feel proud.
Yeah. Grown up things.
Yeah. And still like the next day, fly off the handle at something else. You're like, damn it. But I know I can do, but it's a constant, I don't want to say battle, but it's a constant, something you got to keep in the front of your brain like all the time. Because it's got to be there.
You got to be aware. For sure.
But it takes a lot of practice. So I'm proud of you for doing that.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the list of the top 5 things.
Ooh, okay.
Of 2024.
Top 5 things, first and foremost. It has to be sobriety. Okay. Your wife said it, without sobriety, we really don't have a chance at any of this stuff.
Oh yeah, no.
So that's my biggest one. My second one is basically my wife decided to love me for another year. That's a big thing. Because really without my wife, man, I'm a pretty, I don't know, I guess, kind of closed down, basically like a hermit. Don't go out, don't really show myself to people, don't really want to do things. And she gets me out of that comfort zone. She's like, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're going to go see your family. Oh, and by the way, I'm like, oh my God. But so the wife was second. The third was finding out that we are going to be homeowners for the first time. Very excited about that.
First time homeowners.
Ever. So really, really looking forward.
Get somebody to cut the grass for you.
To that event,
or you can do it.
Really, yeah. However, I'm just so excited about that whole situation, And my new puppy. Got a new puppy for Christmas.
Yeah.
Little Buster. He's a little bastard, but I love him. And all the other dogs are enjoying him. He makes number 3. And I'm looking forward to the new house to put them in. So they'll have a yard to run around in. That'll be real nice. And a dog door. Really looking forward to those things. So, I think that was 5. Yeah. House, sobriety, a wife, puppy. Oh, one more. I have to say you and Marney.
Okay.
And Parker.
All right.
Throw
us in there.
Didn't really, didn't know a lot about you. And then you brought in my wife to work, and she's grown as an individual. And then I came by, and you guys were just awesome. Open arms, and got a lot of the same beliefs, and we want to help people, and we want to make things better and let people know that there's a way out of this misery.
Yeah.
This powerlessness of just not being able to not drink, not do drugs. You guys are a blessing in our lives for sure. And those are my top 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like them. Good job.
Yeah.
And there was a time when all of us, and I'm going to include Cori, she hasn't been on yet, thought we were at a point where we would never be fixed, where this is how we were going to die. This is how we were going to go out.
Yep.
So if somebody's listening, and if it's your son, it's your daughter, or it's your cousin, it's your wife, it's your husband, whoever is going through that, we have been there in them shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And we are not in those shoes anymore. We traded them in.
Thank God.
And got some new white sneakers, and they're brilliant, and they fit well, and they got like arch support, and they're brilliant shoes.
Yep. And we just all in.
It wasn't easy breaking them in. It wasn't easy finding that pair, let me tell you. But we did find it, and thank God. You know, we weren't shopping at the thrift store looking for the cheapest, quickest one that we could get.
Yep.
We had to take our time with it.
Yep.
And we finally found the ones that fit, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And life is beautiful. And we've never literally lived life until now. And now it's just like new homeowner, new puppy.
Yeah.
Come on,
I mean,
man.
dude, things are just ridiculous. Things I dreamed of, just never thought they'd be possible.
Yeah.
And
here you are.
They're possible.
You got a loving wife. You got some stuff going for you.
Yeah.
And is there some stuff? Sure. There's stuff that gets under our skin and bothers us. But at the end of the day, if you really want to break it down and look at it, I call them sober people problems. It's like.
Yeah. I way rather take my problems that I have today than some of the other problems I hear that people have.
Yeah.
I'll take mine.
Yeah.
Any day of the week.
And it's just, and it's, this is where being in recovery kind of comes in, because people can be sober. Oh, I just don't drink. I just don't use. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Being in recovery is a whole different ballgame for me anyway, and for how I look at it. And this is why this is one of the things I was going to write on the things I want to do in 2025. I want to have Gordon Keith on my podcast. I look up to him. He's my idol.
Nice.
And I want him to talk about recovery. And I want to find the person who, and maybe I'll have to go through CCAR to find this, but the person that says you're in recovery when you say you are. I want to talk to that person.
Yeah.
I would really want to have a conversation with them to have them kind of explain what they meant by that. Because so many people throw out, you're in recovery when you say you are, and they're chiefing down or drinking, and I'm like, no. I mean, you can say that you're the president of the United States if you want to.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
But what I fear is the up and comers, the people that don't even know they have a problem yet. That's going to hit them in 2 years from now, and they're going to be struggling, and they're going to be seeing people chiefing down, packing down their arm, ready for another shot.
Right.
And they're like, no, you're in recovery when you say you are, bro. I'll be in recovery tomorrow.
Right.
Huh? Well, no, because it's changing your life. It's paying your bills. It's going to the doctor. It's going to the dentist. It's doing the stuff you don't want to do. Working hard, you're creating things, going in on a Saturday when you don't have to, it's those little things that's changing your life that makes it recovery.
Yeah.
It's not just, well, I'm sober, I don't use anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's building this whole new life. So I really want to talk to that person.
Yeah. I'd look forward to that. That would be really good.
Be a great interview.
It would.
Because there's a lot of people in recovery, and there's a lot of people teetering or borderline, and I get it from a money aspect of it, because through the state and all this other stuff, they're like, well, we want to say that there's 80 million people in recovery. Easier to say that if you're in recovery when you say you are,
right?
But if you really took the numbers down, I wonder what they really would be. I don't really know. I don't think anyone would really know.
No.
Because it's kind of protected by HIPAA.
Right.
You know,
what they want to know is really
what
it comes down to.
But it's one of those things, you know, we're told so many different things. Well, this and that and this and that. And you can do this and you can do that. And it's like, no, I can't do that.
Right.
Well, you can do medically assisted treatment. I mean, I tried Vivitrol. It was a Band-Aid for me.
Yeah,
you know,
Valium was dope.
Yeah. And Mitch swears by it. He's like, oh, Vivitrol saved my life. You know, where I was like, okay, when's Vivitrol wear off? Okay, cool. My mom wants me to watch the house in October. I'm going to stop getting that shot in August to make sure I got enough room because I'm going to get lit in October. That's how I looked at Vivitrol.
Yeah.
But again, I was in the right mind space where if you talk to Mitch, he'll flip it around, oh no, this and that. And then you talk about the other stuff that they give you too, and it's just like, are you using it correctly? And my number one thing that it's not is because, and this is just my opinion on it, and I talked to my doctor about it, and I'll talk to him about it tomorrow when I go see him too, is that when they put you on some of the stuff, there's no out date. There's no like, we're going to get you started today and we're going to stop you in November of next year. Nope, It's you're on it and there you go.
Yeah.
And when treatment centers, this person I know works at treatment center said we have to burn all of them. And we only did the first half batch and we do this once a month. And that was like $8,000 of taxpayer money that we just burnt up. That, again, raised a flag. Now, I'm not against it. I'm just saying it needs to be regulated. Don't just throw everybody on it because, if we put this person on it, then we're going to get this much from the insurance and this and that. And that's why they're doing it. That's a waste. And there's no out plan. There's no when you're going to stop.
Right. I'm
going to have cravings the rest of my life.
Right.
Even
detox and treatment has outdates.
Yeah.
You got 5 days here in detox, and then you got 90. Maybe we can get you another 30 after that. But
we're going to put them on the drug companies bandwagon that got us into this mess.
Got you.
Got your ass. Yeah. And then let's talk about the biggest one. Let's talk about the one that kills the most people. Let's talk about alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's fine. You're going to talk about banning Captain Crunch. You're going to ban Captain Crunch, but you're going to leave half gallons of 90 proof Sailor Jerry right on the shelf.
Ooh.
Okay, go ahead, man. You tell me which one's going to get me first. I'll tell you, it's the alcohol. It almost got my ass.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I won't buy Captain Crunch. I don't have the money. I'm gonna buy some liquor.
Yeah.
You know, let me just explain to you how that works. But anyway, that's a whole different podcast. Whole different one.
Oh, man.
All right. So I guess Marney now is going to talk to Cori, and they're going to run down her top 5, bottom 5 moments.
Wonderful.
But actually, it'll be me because I can't find Marney. The mansion's too big. I don't know where she's at.
Obviously.
So it'll be me. Interviewing you, Cori, with your top 5, bottom 5 moments of 2024. You want to start with the bottom 5?
Sure.
Do you have 5?
I have 3 definites.
Okay, I'm the only one that played this game correctly.
Obviously.
That's because none of us ever listened to Corey Winfield.
Obviously.
I get a cook because I'm the only one who did listen to the rules. But anyway, let's go. Let's go bottom 5 moments of 2024. Or bottom 3.
I mean, I can come up with 2 more.
Oh. No, this is
okay. So my first one that popped to mind was on Thanksgiving, losing my grandma. I mean, I knew that was happening, but just when that does actually happen, it's sad. And then in September, I got this moment. I remember it very vividly as I got a phone call at 1:30 in the morning from a Traverse City police officer asking if my child had made it home safely because she was in a drunk driving accident and had left the scene.
Oh.
And so, I mean, that was a pretty scary moment.
I bet.
And then I couldn't get a hold of her and I didn't know where she was. So I didn't know like if she was even medically okay.
Just dying in the field somewhere. Didn't know.
No.
Wow.
And then of course, the car that they were in and the person driving it, like I couldn't know like anything. So it was kind of scary. And then 2 times last year, I had to ask my daughter to leave our house from her behaviors.
That's number 1 kind of on your list.
Yeah.
Okay. That's tough.
And the first time that I asked her to leave, it was in March, and it was a winter storm, and just her behavior was so out of control that I bundled her up. And I opened the door and I said, you got to go. And she had no phone or nothing. So then I didn't know where she went, which way she headed. Did she find a ride? Did she go somewhere safe? But it was what I had to do in that moment to not get physical with her.
Wow. That's deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you could kind of turn those into a couple more to get top 5, but.
Well, I mean, asking her to leave twice, so I guess that's 2. So I'm really only lacking 1. And
yeah, and we're not trying to relive all the negatives, but just a year in review, as we look back, and go, man, those are some crappy times. But let's move into a different direction. Let's go the top 5 moments. You have top 5 moments?
I do.
Okay. Let's go. Let's hear them.
Okay, so back in February, Jesse and I took his mom back to California where she had resided, and she hadn't been back there in 14 years. So that was like really amazing. And we got to go to recovery meetings that she went to when she was out there.
Nice.
And so it was like super cool to go to these meetings and be with her and then see some people that had remembered her. And
she's not someone you're going to forget.
Yeah, I know. And so that was really fun. Another thing is in August, I made a career change to better myself and for my family. And that was a change that was like, took some time for me to finally say yes, but it is a change that I'm really glad that I made.
Yeah.
Back in September, we became partners with Habitat, and that was like that moment. We were actually coming back from Jackson that we all had went down for an RCO retreat. And then we went home, picked up Michaela, went to Habitat, and they said it was just meeting the board members. And actually it was the day that they told us that we were going to be their next partner family.
Nice.
And so it was like a lot of emotions at once. And like, we had all these strange people looking at us. So, but it was like shocking. And then of course, I cried because it was a dream come true. I really never ever thought that I'd ever be able to own a home.
Did Jesse cry?
No, he was more like, is this real? Like touch me. Is
cameras
this
to come out? Somebody punking me? Like,
yeah.
That's crazy. That's good.
And then this past year I had lost some weight, and so that just mentally like made me feel better about myself and made me more like activities this summer, wanting to be outside. I played softball, and so that just sometimes when you're just mentally you feel better about yourself because you lose a little bit of weight, overall it helps you in your life.
Yeah.
And then number 5 was actually yesterday, but this was something that was planned because on the first of the year we got to wake up and go to a meeting and celebrate 40 years with Jesse's mom, 40 years sober.
Nice.
And if I wasn't sober today, I wouldn't be able to witness that. And it's amazing. Like, I'm just happy that I've continued every day to trudge the road to stay sober.
Yeah. 40 years is a long time.
That's longer than I've been alive.
Yeah. People can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's one of those clearly that's not like, oh, I'll be good after 20 years or I'll be able to drink again after 30. It's a whole different lifestyle, and she's living it. And obviously it's good. If it wasn't, she could easily, it's very easy to go back to the old life.
Mm-hmm.
So there's proof right there that it does get better and that it can get better so much that, because right now for a lot of people, especially in early recovery, it's hard to even fathom like a week or 2 weeks or 6 months. Are you kidding? But to stay the course and to do it like, Jesse's mom did, your mother-in-law, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And to go to California and to experience that with her too, earlier in 2024, like how fun is that?
It was super cool. Like, I'd never been able to I found the tickets, the prior It was after Thanksgiving, and I found the tickets out of Traverse City from a Saturday to a Saturday, and they were $164.
Wow.
Round trip, a person. So I just told Jesse, I'm like, for Christmas, I want to take your mom back to California. And it was so cool because Jesse's friends that he grew up with, they live out there. And that's where we went. And so she got to also see them, which they've all been connected since Jesse was 8 years old. And so it was just really cool. And she does still have 2 friends out there that she connects with. So we got to meet them and have dinner and just go to all the little spots that she remembers. And so it was just really cool to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, amazing. Well, any big plans for 2025? What are you looking forward to? I'm really looking forward into moving into our new house and having a yard again, so then we can kind of host people. And also I'm just looking forward to what endeavors awaits me in my career. Nice. Yeah. When we listen back to this a year from now, we'll be like, we didn't even mention this or this, or how cool was this or this happened and that. Because so many things are going to come to us that are just great that we don't have any idea that God has planned for us yet. And it's just going to be amazing to move forward with goals. Like there's something that we're kind of wanting to happen and in the works, and we don't know how it's going to happen, but we're all working towards that goal. And what happens when you work towards goals, things happen. It might not happen as fast as we want it or the perfect this or that, but it'll happen because we want it to and because we're working on that, and we'll figure out how to do it. None of us know how to do it right now, but we'll figure it out. Yeah. It's just kind of like 217 recovery when we started that, like we didn't know how we were going to make it good or how we were going to make it relevant and how we were going to help as many people as we can. And now we're doing a pretty good job at it, and we still want to expand that in different areas. So, yeah.
I just want to say one more thing too that really touches my heart is watching you and Marney become parents.
Aww.
And just watching you guys grow on with Parker and how things that adjust to your life, and then also your views change too. And it's also kind of cool for me that you guys allow me to be part of your little man's life, because I had my daughter so young and I went right back to work. So some of it, I didn't just get to sit down on the floor and play with her because I was tired and I was a single mom. And so to be able to just come over and be auntie and have fun with them and spoil them and feed them. And then just watching you guys and the love that you both have for your child it's amazing, and I know that sobriety has done that for you both.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And he's very lucky to have that.
Yeah, we're blessed to have him, and couldn't do it without being sober. I used to tell myself, well, I'll have kids, get married, but I'll stop drinking when I have kids, which is a complete lie. I would have been a drunk father, because that's not how it works. And it's not that I didn't mean that, because I clearly would have wanted to be sober for my child, but it doesn't happen that way. The way addiction works, it doesn't just go away because, well, I'm just going to stop doing this now. And I would have had resentments towards him and towards my wife or whoever, and women were smart enough to stay away from me at that point, to go, oh, nope, not changing him. I'm out. See ya. Yeah. Because you can't change somebody. Somebody's got to they have to do it for themselves. And I did too. And, to be where I'm at today with Marney and to have gone through all the stuff I did, and she went through all the stuff she did. And for us to meet was a miracle. And then to have him as a little miracle baby is just amazing too. And it's great to see him grow up. And I was telling Marney the other day, and if you're a teacher, nothing wrong with that. But I'm just like, he better not tell me he wants to be a teacher when he grows up, because I got big plans for him. But we'll see how that changes. I'm a first-time parent. I don't know. Everybody probably thinks this,
Kind of like telling them no at the cat food dish today. Mm-hmm. And what you told me last week at work, when I say no, he's not going to do it. Okay. I really hope that works.
Yeah. I got to figure out how to make him not do it.
You just keep saying no. You keep And then also like another thing that really works that I hear other people say too is like when you're saying no, not the cat food dishes, hand them, like turn them the other way and hand them. But you can have this toy. Just distract them.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But he was a big fan of the vacuum, so as soon as he can walk,
you start vacuuming.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Here's your broom. Start sweeping.
Yeah, and then I like tune no change. So I'm like, I thought you vacuumed the floor, and he was like, I'm like, stop that. Vacuum it again. Daddy will just do it. Never mind.
Wait till he wants to sit down and ride the vacuum around while you vacuum.
That's kind of what he looked like he was doing today. He wanted to jump on it, and I'm like, get away from me. But no, thanks for coming on though, and thanks for running down your top 5, bottom 3 of 2024. Thanks to your husband as well. I'm glad to have Marney on again. Of course, she's with Parker right now, but she says thank you to everybody who listens. She says it all the time, so I know she's going to say it again. And if you want to go back to previous years and listen, I would say the easiest way would be through the 217 Recovery app, which you can get in the Apple Store, the App Store, or the Google Store. It's free. So check it out. And you can go through like podcast archives, I think it's called, or previous episodes, something like that. But you can go back and you can listen to all the rundown of the top 5, bottom 5 moments from Marney and I's life. But it was cool to have you and Jesse on to go through that again. Cori, thank you.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you again at another time of my choosing.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Listen to over 900 episodes on the 217 Recovery app that's free in your app store or online at 217recovery.com.